Hello, I'm Adam White. Welcome to Spring TV on sport927.com.au. We're at Altona Beach this morning following Efficient around after winning yesterday's Melbourne Cup. It was a little bit of an excursion for Efficient today. He started out at Flemington this morning in his stable before hopping on a float and heading down to the beach to just recover from yesterday's great win. He spent some half an hour in the beach here at Altona with all his other stablemates that ran during Melbourne Cup Day, and well, it's all now about reflecting back on what he was able to do yesterday. Lloyd Williams was also down here just watching proceedings, and he spoke to the media a short time ago, just reflecting back on what was an amazing day. Melbourne Cup Day, a Melbourne Cup win for Lloyd Williams, win number 3.
Well, Lloyd, have you come back to earth yet?
No, it's pretty hard to come back to earth. It's a great race, and you aspire to it. And if you're in racing, it's aspirational to win the Melbourne Cup. I'm fortunate enough to have won one 22 years ago and one 26 years ago. But it's been a long wait, the 22 years in between. Been a lot of horses in between. It's an enormous thrill. But it's as big a thrill for me to be part of the team that we've got. The 70 odd people that we've got on the staff. It's for them. You can see them here this morning. They're overjoyed and they've put in a tremendous effort. That's part of it. I'm enjoying that probably as much as of me personally winning the cup. It's something for them as well to share it with other people.
Is it frustrating watching on from home?
No, not at all. I love it being at home. It's an easier way to watch the races for me. I can have it. I can watch the replay 6 times before I speak to the people on the course. So I enjoy watching them at home. It's an easier way for me.
Did you think that Efficient was going to get home?
At the top of the straight, I thought the 400 when Michael pulled him out, I thought he was full of running. I thought, if you asked me at the 500, I thought my other horse had a good chance of winning Zipping. But once Michael pulled him out, I thought, well, he was full of running. He looked like the Zipping that won the Derby, the Efficient that won the Derby last year.
You had to be really patient, didn't you, with Efficient during the spring, because he seemed to be working really well on the track, but not putting it out on a Saturday.
Yeah, well, he ran well in the Fian. And we were very happy with him in the Fian, and Stephen said if he'd got another 100 metres he probably would have picked up El Segundo and Harada Sun. And 2 runs after that were very disappointing. Maybe there was an excuse for him in the Turnbull, but I'm not sure, but there was certainly no excuse for him in the Cox Plate. We turned his training methods around. We took the blinkers off him, and we did some things to him last week and put him over the hurdles, and we gave him a pretty serious gallop only 3 days after the Cox Plate. And I think you were out there and you probably saw it, and it's an unusual method to take to give him a gallop like that immediately after Cox Plate. But I think we brightened him up again and focused him. I think he was kidding to us a bit. I think he probably was sort of basking in the glory of winning the last VRC Derby, and so we had to wake him up. But he's got latent ability. He's a natural stayer. He's a very clean-winded horse. I've heard some people saying on radio that we'd given him the wrong preparation and we hadn't run him over a mile and a half first. But you have to know your horse, and it's difficult for commentators to make the various comments on horses if they actually don't know the horse. And he's a horse that's particularly clean-winded. One of the things we didn't want to do is run him over a mile and a half and make him slow, which tends to be. I made the same mistake with Zipping last year. I ran him over 2 mile and a half journeys before the Melbourne Cup and turned him into a plotter. So all horses are different, and that was life with Efficient last week.
Had you lost faith at any stage during the preparation?
No, I always thought he was a good horse. Any horse that was so commanding last year, he won 5 races in a row last year, and they don't. I've had a lot of horses, and they don't. Good horses only do that. We just had to find the key to him and switch him back on, and he's switched back on.
He's got a lovely nature about him, hasn't he? And he does enjoy this moment in the sun.
He does. Yeah, you can see him here this morning. He's an ideal stayer because he's quiet, he's relaxed, puts his head down. He's the perfect stayer, and that's the type of horse you need to stay. He fits the bill. But I must say the other horse ran the Melbourne Cup Zipping. He's pulled up very well today as well. So we're thrilled with him. And we're sad that we missed our other horse Gaelic in the race. But there we are. That's the way it goes.
Do you think Efficient's got another Melbourne Cup in him?
Well, you live in hopes, don't you? I've been dreaming for 22 years of winning another race. That's 12 months away. I've got a dream at the moment. We've got some other horses in the stable. We'd like to think we were training for the race as well. But certainly, if Efficient's well. He'll be back here. He won't be going overseas. He'll be having a very light autumn, and we'll be training him again for the Melbourne Cup.
Having had to wait 22 years, was it a bit of a sweeter victory than the others earlier in your career?
Well, it's as I said before, it was very nice to be involved with the team we've got. We've got a terrific team. John Sadler leads that team at the stables at Flemington, and they're a great group of people, and that's the real enjoyment I've had out of it. I've had more enjoyment of being with the people than I have probably, and being at the event yesterday. I did, being at the event, that wouldn't have meant anything to me, but being with the people and part of the training and the preparation of the horse. What you've got to understand when you train horses for Melbourne Cups, it's a 12-month project. You can't, suddenly decide you're going to run a horse in the Melbourne Cup. It's a very demanding race, and you've got to give them the right preparation. And so that's the enjoyment I get out of it.
And what did you make of Roger's speech? He had a few things to say about Des.
Roger's a one only, he's got his New Zealand way about going about it. He's the sort of New Zealand Banjo Patterson, I think.
So there you have it, Lloyd Williams there, Melbourne Cup victory number 3 with Efficient. That's it from us for today. Don't forget tomorrow it's Oaks Day on Sport 927, a full coverage throughout the afternoon. And on Friday it's the final word looking ahead towards Emirates Stakes Day on Saturday at Flemington, the final day of the Melbourne Cup Carnival. We'll have that press conference for you on sport927.com.au.